Good morning, everyone. Lori Marie here, mixed media artist in Vallejo, California. Thank you for joining me here today. We are going to play a little bit in our altered book. I don't have much more space in this book, so I put a little door and a window in the back. Very fun. Cabinet cards inside, played with those a little bit. Napkin. It was just a very fun page to play with. I played at dark o'clock this morning and I played at dark o'clock yesterday morning. I will be getting a new lighting system so it's not so dark even when it's dark o'clock. So that's exciting. Other than that, I don't think I have any other news. Patreon is still doing well, thank you. Amazon is still doing well, thank you. I will continue to put links up of supplies that I am using. I used small hinges in the piece for today's video, so I will put a link up to those little mini hinges because they're very fun. And a special thank you shout out to Teresa. She sent me a box of goodies and I used the tacky glue that she sent because it's an upside down bottle. She said she was tired of watching me fight with that. Yvette sent me a very fun pin. I'm going to put it on my overalls. It's a pair of underpants. I don't know where the heck she found it, but it's pretty darn great. So, and then also we have picked the winners, Ann Rector, Serial Nana, and Sarah Gilbert. Sarah has been contacted. Well, all three winners have been contacted, and Sarah has contacted me. So I will get some underpants organized and in the mail to her. So that's most exciting. And so now we're on our way to 21,000. So, tell your friends, tell your neighbors and friends, and if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe. Then you'll be notified when a new video hits the deck. All right? So, should we do it? Let's go play in those altered books. See you on the table. All right, here is our wonderful project in our altered book. My hinges aren't dry yet, but that's okay. They can dry while I leave it alone. So this was in the back of our book. I put a little pocket in the back of the book. Very, very fun. Put a door on it. Saved the library card out of the back of the book because that was just too fun to lose. Put a little dangle on the door. 2 hinges screwed in one side, glued on the other. And then in here, there's a couple of cabinet cards stacked, making it a little bit 3D. Put those down with some screws. Napkin on the background. Very, very fun. All right, I'm in my altered book. I'm going to create a sturdy page here with 5 pages. So I'm going to glue these together and then set them off to the side, and then we're going to play with the back of the book. Now this is yummy in the back of the book, and so is this. So I'm going to remove these from the back of the book so that I can put them someplace else. And then I'm going to just glue that last page to here. Kind of weak in there, so it'll be good to have this secured down. Then I'm going to glue a few pages down, not too many, just to give it a nice foundation here. So I'm going to glue about 5 pages to the back of the book. And when you're gluing the back pages together, what I would do anyway, or what I am doing, is putting some Mod Podge on that back page and then just closing my book onto it so I can avoid too many wrinkles up by that spine area. All right, now I'm going to be putting a little box in the back. So I just want the back of the book to be about this deep. And it looks like that is going to be more than enough. So what I'm going to do now is just slop some Mod Podge on every few pages. Doesn't have to be every page now. And just go through the remainder of your book and do that. And then we will come back and play. All right, I'm about half done with gluing my pages down. I have to head off to a meeting, so I'm just going to put my rice bag on here. Hold it steady, and I'll be back. So just go through the rest of those pages. Flip through a few pages. Glue a page down. Really make sure that the book is in place. We're going for a pretty straight edge there. Okay, when you get all of those pages glued, what you're going to do is put some Mod Podge around the edge of the book. This is really what helps it stay nice and sturdy. All three sides. And I would rather you have too much Mod Podge than not enough on these sides, because this is what makes it really, really strong. And I'm going to clamp that in place. So I clamped the pages together. I'm going to go ahead and put my rice bag on the top here, keep everything down, and come back after it dries. All right, let's unclip it. Now you can see where the Mod Podge has just made it like plastic around the edges of the pages, which is delicious. I just want to make sure that we are deep enough. We are. So I'm going to take this cigarette box lid and I'm just going to trace it. Bring my ruler in, lay it on that line, and just start digging the center of that page out. Until I hit the back of that book, and I will do that on all sides of this box. This, well, it's like a window now, but we're going to put the box in it. All right, I have some of it cut. I'm just going to peel some of those pages out. And of course, I'm going to save them. And then just keep cutting until you reach the back of the book. So you will know when you've hit the bottom because you won't be able to peel that paper up because those pages have been glued down to the back of the book. Now I'm going to put a generous amount of Mod Podge in and around those pages, in and around that window, in and around where that box is going to go. Put my box in. So I've got the box in. I'll be putting underpants over this. I just want to make sure everything has a fair amount of Mod Podge there to hold everything in place. Then I'm going to put my rice bag back on top and we will let that dry. Okay, what I'm going to do now is just cover that book with underpants and Mod Podge. Alright, so I've got underpants in here. As you can see, I've got some wrinkles. We call that texture. We embrace that and love that. And now we're going to let that dry. I have this gorgeous piece of napkin floating around here on my workspace. And I am just going to lay that down here. Just with a light touch, just kind of work it in there. And then I will put Mod Podge on the top of that. All right, while the book is drying, remember this pocket, and this is stamped in 1948, right up until 1964. So delicious, from the library of T.C. Williams High School. So I have a piece of cardboard from the wine inserts that's about that big. I'm just going to make round some corners on it. So I'm going to cover this with underpants and Mod Podge. So I have some underpants down on one side of that cardboard. I'm just going to put the napkin down. Let this dry and then flip it over. All right, I have a couple minutes here. It's almost time for me to take Mr. Parker, my grandson, to his swim classes. So I'm just going to trim off the extra underpants on this card. That's gorgeous, huh? Beautiful. All right, I'm going to put underpants on this side. Just some plain underpants, nothing fancy. Underpants on that side. I'm taking the library envelope and I'm going to glue it onto that, the side with the napkin. I have one piece of that napkin left, so I'm going to put that on this side of that card. Mod Podge under and Mod Podge on top of the napkin, and let that all dry. Now I made a copy of a small cabinet card in my laser printer, my color laser printer. Of course, there's not much color in this cabinet card, but that's okay. And I'm just going to glue that down there and let that dry. Now I do have an idea. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I'm going to drag you along. I have another copy of that cabinet card. I keep moving over because the sun keeps moving over. 2 cabinet cards drying and the double-sided napkin card is drying. Good morning. All right, I'm going to take the vintage photo distress ink and go around this page. Grunge that up a little bit. These are 2 copies that I made of the cabinet card. So I'm just going to cut that out. They are on the inserts for the wine boxes, so they're nice and sturdy. I have an intention. It's always dangerous. I'll take the distress ink and just go around the corners of the edges of the cabinet card duplicates. And this is the card that I made with the library pocket. Just go around the edges of that with that distress ink. And just touch the edges of this. Now Teresa sent me some tacky glue that stands up like this, so it's ever ready. She got tired of me fighting with my tacky glue, so what a wonderful gift. I'm going to put some tacky glue in there. Put down one of the cabinet cards. And I'm going to put my rice bag on that because I want that weighed down completely. Now this is one of those metal photo slides. I'm going to take that and put that where I want it. And then I'm going to score it with my X-Acto. Bring in my ruler and just cut that out. Cut out that little square. So I have that in there. You can rust this if you want to. I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it in its patina like it is right now. Pretty cool. So I'm going to take my finger with some vintage photo distress ink and just go around the bare cut areas. Put some Ever Ready tacky glue on the back of that card. Put that cabinet card on top of that cabinet card. And put our photo frame in there. I'm going to put my rice bag on this to hold that down. That's fun, huh? So while that's drying, I'm going to bring in a couple of the mini hinges. And with my Ever Ready tacky glue, I am going to glue a hinge, 2 hinges on the top of this page. I want to make sure that the hinged part is above the page so that it will bend in the correct place. So while that's drying, let's poke a little hole here. Just put a dangle on that page, which is now a door. A door. So now we have Simplify on there. All right, I need to walk away. Now I'm going to put the door on. Not quite dry there, but you know. You know. So I'm just going to poke a little hole with some sharp scissors. Just poke a little hole where each screw is going to go. And I can use a screw here because the book is that thick in the back. So I'm just going to take my screwdriver and drive that screw down in. And of course I'm holding the hinge in place because it's not dry. And I'll put all 4 screws in. I'm going to take a little bit of the vintage photo and just go down the side of that page. So this is going to open up like this, and then that fun photo cabinet card is inside. Oh, some screws there would be fun, don't you think? Oh, let's do that. So what I'm going to do is take my X-Acto, poke holes in the corner, and then just install a screw. We'll take, after the hinges dry, I'll take some vintage photo around the edge of that. Did get the screws in here, so fun. Fun door. Still letting those little hinges dry. And that is the back of our book. Your turn. Go create, go play, go have fun.